to another Mission Shakeup. I'm your host, Rebecca Lindhout, consultant for adults and children at WMU of North Carolina. And I am happy to be with you again after our last posting was in December. And I hope that you had enough resources to last you through the month and through January. And so we're just going to hit the ground running in February because there are some exciting things coming up. The first thing that I want you to be aware of is that our registration for our missions conference is up and running, so we hope that you will go ahead and register for that today. We have 3 tracks. First, there is the adult track, which is our normal missions conference, what you would have formerly known as ME, or Missions Extravaganza. And then this year new, we have a youth track, and our youth are actually going to go out on a mission trip while the adults are at conference. And then your third track is your kids camp. And so kids camp this year is Saturday only. And we are going to do some really fun things. We're going to have sensory boxes, and we're going to have a missions project, and we're going to do some more studying about Africa and do some hands-on activities from our Missions in a Box. So, and we're going to hear from some missionaries. So I'm really excited about this, and I know you hear me say the word excited a lot, but we have a lot going on with Missions Conference this year, and we hope that you will join us. Our speaker is Julie Busler. She is the WMU president for WMU of Oklahoma, but she is also a missionary, former missionary to Turkey. And she is the author of the book Joyful Sorrow, which is a highlighted book of WMU this year, I guess our focus book. And Julie tells the story of being a missionary in Turkey and having a mental breakdown. And as you know, or maybe you don't, so let me introduce it. Our WMU Project Help for the next 3 years is going to be mental health, which we know is such a huge issue, especially in America after the pandemic and COVID and all of the things that have happened. It really has shaken our national mental health awareness. And so as a church, we want to be leaders in helping people find the hope and acceptance that they need. And so we want you to be a part of hearing Julie. I'm posting some resources on our Mission Shakeup page, and you will see a couple of them here from Julie's background and just a little bit more information about her. And it's just such a story of hope that she shares, and it's going to just truly inspire you, I am sure. So I hope that you will join us for that. It would be a great idea if you as a WMU read this book together and maybe afterwards had Julie sign your books, because it is well worth the read. Also, I want to remind you that as it being our Project Help, mental health, there are resources available online through WMU National. Those resources are available on the Compassion Ministries pages. So just like you would have gone in years past to get training on human trafficking or refugees, there is a Project Help training, which is, I think is about an hour long through WMU National. And then you have all of those resources available that come with that training, such as your PowerPoints, so you can go ahead and train your group and help your church to be more aware of the ways that we can partner in ministry and serve those with mental health disorders. Also, there is an hour-long training that is done periodically through WMU National, and this is a very, very in-depth training. So if you really want to be more of an expert, I would say, as far as having been trained in mental health disorders, at least in what WMU has to offer. That class, it's a day-long class, I believe. It's offered periodically. I've signed up to take the one in May, so I hope that you will join me in that too. And really, that would help if more churches had women trained in this. We would all be able to be advocates. So I hope that you will do that. Another thing that we wanted to announce is that tomorrow, on the 1st of February, our Children's Mission State registration is going to open up. That's going to be at Camp Kale near Elizabeth City and Edenton. That is such a neat camp facility. It is located right on the Pamlico Sound. And we're going to be doing all around Africa again. Pastor Patrick Walratu from Kenya is going to be joining us to be our keynote speaker. He will also be joining us to lead our cultural exploration station with his wife, Pauline. And so we are excited about that. We also want to remind you that February is WMU Focus Month. This is the month that we pay special attention to our Heck Jones offering. As you can see, I've got our poster here for it. You can take this Heck Jones offering up in February, but you can also take it up all year long. But we have a special emphasis, a special push on this offering in February. This is the offering that goes to support all the missions and ministries of WMU of North Carolina. So that would be our Military Wives Retreat, Mom Camp, Prison Retreat, all of the ministries that your consultants are involved in. It goes to pay for those. And so we want to encourage you. We are a very innovative state. We have things going on all the time that many other states are learning from and drawing from us. We are pioneers in ministry in many ways for WMU, and we need your support, ladies. So don't forget this month, if you need a speaker, give us a call. We have a speaker team, and someone will come and talk to your church about the mission and ministries of WMU. Give me a call. I'll come and talk to your church. I'm happy to do that. We are all very happy to share during this time and in the months ahead. So if you ever have a Baptist Women's Sunday, give us a call. We would love to share about being Baptist women on mission through WMU. We also want you to know that your Annie Armstrong offering materials are on their way. So if you haven't gotten them yet, don't freak out. They have been mailed, or they are being mailed, and they will be to all of the churches by March the 1st. So everything will be to you in time for your offering. I wanted to let you know also, when it comes to some things like your DVD, if you wanted to start your videos before you have your offering materials, those are available online at North American Mission Board. And you go to Annie Armstrong and then resources, and they have the resources for the week of prayer. They have several missionary testimonies. All of that is available right there. And some of your IT people or your tech gurus for your church would prefer to have a link to follow than a DVD, because many computers don't have DVD players anymore. So if you ordered a DVD, it is on its way. But if you wanted to go ahead and start showing those videos, that is online at North American Mission Board. The last thing that I wanted to let you know about is that our very own Amanda Martinson is going to be hosting a leadership cohort for the year. And this is going to be all about young women learning to be leaders in their church, not just in WMU, but as leaders in general. And so they will be meeting monthly, and Amanda will be guiding them through that process of I guess, certification. Amanda has finished her life coaching certificate, and so she is going to be using that and some leadership knowledge that she has built over these many years of hosting our leadership luncheons. And it's going to be a really wonderful time. So registration for that is going to open in about 2 weeks, I believe, and we'll keep you posted. So keep looking on our Facebook page. I think there's going to be spots for 15 women. So if you want to get in on that, you need to do it early. I almost forgot. I wanted you to be aware that in your Missions Mosaic, just like we did with human trafficking and refugees, in your Missions Mosaic every month, there is going to be an article related to our Project Help focus. And so this month, our Project Health focus is on eating disorders. And let me tell you, ladies, that is a big thing amongst women. And I can tell you, especially amongst young girls and teenagers, it is a huge issue. You could probably think of one woman off the top of your head who had an eating disorder growing up, or even right now. I can think of one from high school that I sat next to in high school, and others that I know personally right now who struggle with that. And so I just wanted you to take some time. I think that is on page 16, if I'm not mistaken. There's the information about eating disorders. So let's be aware of that. So jumping right into our missions lesson, we are talking about East Asia and the Fentons this month. And this is a story about being in the waiting place. And I'm sure just like some of you have been in the waiting place with your WMUs, many of you have told us that you're getting started back this year because you were trying to care for the least of these in your group and try not to spread COVID. But we are coming out of our caves, I think, and more so all of the time. And so many of you know what it's like to be in the waiting place. And COVID created that situation for Sarah and John Fenton in East Asia. They were basically sent home or sent out, ejected from the country that they were serving in. They don't say specifically, they say East Asia. We know that that happened to missionaries in China for sure. And there's a few other clues that would make us think that maybe that they were in China. Such as, if you look in your lesson, they have a recipe for Szechuan fried green beans, and Szechuan is a province in China, so that's kind of one of those clues there that might lead us to know that maybe they were in China. They said that they spent a year living out of suitcases, kind of wondering where they were gonna land, where God was gonna send them. And one of the things that Sarah mentioned is that while she was home at her parents' house, she noticed that there was a tree that had fallen over, a pear tree, and she said it kind of felt like a metaphor for her life, that this tree had fallen over, but what she noticed was that it was still bearing fruit, and that she knew that God wasn't finished with her and her family's mission yet. And I hope that feels the same for you. That many of us have gotten knocked down. Some of our groups have had to come back together and reform, and there's been challenges in that, and maybe you feel knocked down, but God is not through with you, and you can still bear fruit for missions. Just a couple of fives, I guess. Give me fives, 5 senses. You could show them videos of a Buddhist temple, because those are available on YouTube, and that's one of the things that it said, that that the East Asia Pacific Rim area is the home to many Buddhists and Muslims. Maybe show them the videos of it so that they can see that it is a very highly liturgical process that they go through. Read that page 20. It tells you all about East Asia and the Pacific Rim. So many great details about that. Also, they have that recipe for Szechuan dry fried green beans. I am sure that is delicious, but you know me, I like to make things as easy as possible. So another recipe might be Szechuan chicken, and that's a recipe you don't have to make. Here's how you make that recipe. You go to your local Chinese restaurant and you order Kung Pao chicken. That is the same thing as Szechuan chicken. You could even split the pieces of chicken apart and have them on toothpicks and let your ladies taste it that way. So there's your taste. So you've got something to see, because the video is not up on National's website yet. There's something to smell. Let's see, what could our smell be? It could be the Szechuan chicken. It could be the green beans if you want to make that. You could also go to the Dollar Tree. They have incense there, and put some incense in a Ziploc bag and let the ladies who want to smell it kind of have that smell, so they kind of immerse themselves. What would it be like to be in the country that they were in, and to be surrounded by Buddhist temples? So there would have been the smell of incense. Think about what something else to see is to be aware of your surroundings. So if you're going to get your nails done, or your eyebrows waxed, ladies, we know, then maybe check out and look at your nail salon and see if they have a Buddhist shrine. Often they'll have a gold Buddha and some fruit sitting there and some incense. So if you spot one, remember to pray for the people who worship Buddha. As you drive by them every day or on a regular basis, say a prayer for the lost who worship a God that is not real. So we've got something to taste, something to smell, several things to see, something to touch. If you have not done a lesson on East Asia yet, or on a country that uses chopsticks, I'm going to recommend doing noodle races again. And some of you might say, look, we are too old to be having races. But let me tell you something. You are never too old to have fun. And so this is something that is so fun. There was a 92-year-old woman in my bound training who loved having the noodle relay race. And all in the world it is you get some chopsticks, some ramen noodles, you split your group up into two, and you walk quickly. You don't even have to run. Nobody has to run. Try to pick up a noodle with your chopsticks and walk it back to your group. And that is all in the world it is, but I'm telling you, they will have so much fun. It is so funny to see one another doing this and to cheer one another on. And we know that this is basketball season, and we love to cheer on our favorite teams. So your ladies will get into it, I promise you. So you've got something to smell, taste, touch, even hear in your videos about Buddhist temples. Maybe you want to play some music from East Asia. Those are also available through Apple iTunes or through YouTube. So I just want to encourage you, think of those ways to make it more immersive. Another thing that I wanted to let you know about is what could be your mission project for this month. I want to share with you a mission project that we have done for many years at my church, and that is sending cards to Valentine cards to Meals on Wheels clients. And so every year I have two different children's groups that I meet with, and we make about 90 cards for our county for Meals on Wheels. And in fact, one of the ladies who delivers the Meals on Wheels meals said that one of the clients was so moved by the card that the child had made for them, because they made it from start to finish, that they framed that card because it meant so much to them. Now, you don't have to make a card, but you can buy some Valentine cards and have your group sign them and send those to your Meals on Wheels participants. Also, if you look on National's website right now, there is a Project Help carrying bag project that the children are being encouraged to do for their badge, which is to make a bag for kids in crisis that has coloring things, maybe a small fidget toy. And there's a whole list of things, but you could help the kids do that. This could be a project that you do together, and what a wonderful blessing that could be to a child in crisis. We delivered ours to the emergency room waiting room, and they had suggestions for other places for you to send those to. So I'm going to have the information about that as well up on our website. So I hope that you will take some time this month to plan for that mission project, to plan to either do a bag or to do the Valentine cards, that you'll be looking around for those altars all around, little altars everywhere, and praying for the lost. You know, we live in a world of over 250 plus million lost. And our hearts should break for that. And so every month, as we are praying for our missionaries, don't forget that there are so many lost and so few missionaries, and just say extra prayers that our missionaries might be extra effective in what they do, and that the next generation of believers would have hearts moved to share the gospel. That's all I have for you this month. I hope you have a great February and a happy Valentine's Day, and I will see you next month.